Okay.
Well, this could be a nice follow-up. Roxanne's also wondering, how do you get your feelings under control?
Well, number one, uh, and I say this over and over, you have to decide that you're going to get your feelings under control. And again, you got to remember, listen, I don't care what you're struggling with in any area of your life. It's because you learned to do that. It's such an easy way, and I think it's such a good way to let yourself off the hook. You got to freaking lighten up on yourself. We're way too serious about life, and we're way too hard on ourselves. And you have to understand that most of the things that you do, most of the things that you believe, most of the rules you're following in the game of life, you just simply learn to do that. And so if you learn to do it, then you can unlearn, and then you can relearn. Just I'm thinking about this analogy of the game of life. I mean, Roxanne, think about, when you were little and you were playing a game, with your cousins or your family or whatever, or, you were learning a new game. I remember when I was learning a new game, I get frustrated. I was getting frustrated because I couldn't figure it out. I wanted to figure it out. And I give myself a hard time about it, and I get emotional about it. And so I just learned to do that. So number one, if it's not working for you, well, like Bob always said, Doug, you're either ignorant or you're stupid. He said, you're no longer ignorant. I'm no longer ignorant. So if I let my emotions rule me, I'm being stupid. Not that I'm a dumb guy, but I'm not being critical. But why would I do something that's not good for me? Now you say, well, I mean, it's hard to change. It is hard to change because it's a habit. But if you simplify it, that it's just simply a habit, you learn to do it, and then you decide, you know what? That's not working for me. I'm going to form a new habit. So the starting point is always decision. And then you're going to have to affirm it. You're going to have to set up a couple of rules. Like tonight, I gave you some rules to follow. I make up rules all the time. I form my own credo. I live my life by my own rules. There's some rules that are made up by others, and I follow those. But there's a lot of rules that are made up by others that I don't follow. I make up my own rules. So just sit down and look at your situation and go, okay, what are the rules what are the rules I want to follow that will make me feel good? And I can enjoy the game of life, and I won't be so freaking emotional. I'm trying to think of that term that somebody said, oh God, I don't know. It was para something. It was a medical term. And basically it was like, what do you call it when you get something taken out? Tyson, when you get your appendix taken out, appendectomy? There's something.
A procedure?
Yeah, like a procedure. That's not parasympathetic. I want to get this. It was so funny.
Aaron, do you know?
Let's call it. It's like, you get an appendectomy. Let's call it a parent appendectomy, something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to make up a medical term. Anyway,
parentectomy.
A parentectomy. That's what it was. A parentectomy. That means you got to get your parents out of your friggin' life.
That's hard.
No, hang on.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Listen to me. This person was really struggling with what their parents were thinking about them. And they were worried what their parents were thinking about them. And they were being influenced by how they were living their life, because what will my parents think? And I've talked to people about this before, where they're worried what their parents think, and their parents are dead. They're still worried what their parents think, because that's a habit. So she said they probably need a parentectomy. Parentectomy? How do you say that?
Parentectomy.
Parentectomy. Anyway, I wanted to cover the term. So anyway, back to Roxanne. I digress. Don't get me freaking fired up. You got to decide that you're going to get your feelings under control. Make up your own set of rules. And I'm going to give you some rules and a couple things to follow tonight. Just make up your own set of rules. So what would be some rules? So number one rule is I don't let my emotions rule me. I do not let anything or anyone get under my skin ever. And that's the way I say them too. Right? I don't care what anyone thinks. Not my brother, not my family, not my parents, not Bob Proctor, And Bob taught me that. He goes, why the hell would you care what I think? I used to really worry what Bob thought of me. He goes, why would you do that? I go, I don't know. He goes, that's dumb. So you make a few decisions. Now, those are my rules, but make up your own rules, Roxanne. Just go, these are the rules I'm going to follow. Because you're wasting your life feeling the way you're feeling and allowing your emotions to run you. And so it's a decision. It's a choice. You got to repeat it and affirm it. You got to keep drilling, just like your kids. Roxanne's got kids, and you had to drill in some rules into their heads to, make sure, they were set up that life was good and they weren't going to get hurt, and, the family, the house runs smoothly, all that stuff.